Hey, what's going on the run? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another new video. And today we're gonna be talking about Bungie accidentally leaking their exotic buffs or exotic reworks that might be coming next season. So something a little weird happened today. Bungie updated exotic descriptions on some exotics to more closely match what they actually do in game. The thing is that they also updated exotics that haven't actually gotten their rework or their buff yet even announced. So we're gonna take a look at some of those so we can see what are some of the exotic buffs and reworks that are coming next season. There's a couple, I only found 6 so far, but we're gonna take a quick look at them just so you guys can know what's coming. So let's get started, and the first one we're taking a look at is the Stompies. So the description now says, increase sprint speed and slide distance, and improves high jump, strafe jump, and triple jump. Take less damage from combatants when airborne. So it seems like they completely removed the part about you having to have full class ability energy, so like have your dodge ready for you to actually take advantage of the Stompies. Which is great, you know, I'm glad that they are releasing the Stompies. They're basically just undoing the nerf and putting them back like how they used to be. Which makes sense, you know, I'm not someone that uses Stompies all the time. But I'm happy that the Stompies are going to be more in line with some of their other movement exotics. And they even added this extra line at the end about taking less damage from combatants in PvE. It would have to give you like some ridiculous damage resistance for this to actually be useful, because you don't really want to be airborne a lot of time in PvE. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Next up, we're looking at the Shards of Galanor, and the description now reads, throwing knife final blows, decrease the cooldown of your super, hit some final blows with the Blade Barrage will return super energy after the super ends. So it seems like they added where you're going to be able to get some extra super energy with the throwing knife final blows, which definitely fits the theme of the Shards of Galanor. It always felt like the Shards of Galanor, or a lot of like just the super specific exotics, lacked, you know, just something to them, because they only are active when you have your super or when you actually use your super. So whenever you are just running around with them, they essentially use the dead exotic. So I'm glad that they're adding this extra ability for whenever you don't have your super to try to get your super back faster. And like I said, it makes perfect sense with like the theme of the Shards of Galanor. I don't know why they didn't have this already. It seems great, and we'll just have to wait and see how much super energy you actually get for some of those throwing knife kills. Is it gonna be something very noticeable? Is it just gonna be, you know, a bit extra super energy? We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm excited about this buff. I like the Shards of Galanor. It's still something that I use every once in a while. But I could definitely see myself using them a lot more with this update, especially because how easy it is to get your throwing knives back, so you could go around just throwing knife and everything and just spamming supers. I think it could be just fantastic. And let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have another Hunter exotic. Get used to it because there's gonna be a lot of Hunter exotics. It's mostly Hunter exotics. It's the Mechaneer Tricksleeves. They now read increased sidearm airborne effectiveness, ready speed, and reload speed. When you are critically wounded, swapping to a sidearm reloads it and increases damage. While this effect is active, sidearm final blows reload the weapon and extend the effect's duration. So now if you get a kill where you have the Tricksleeves buff, you get to keep that extra damage for longer, and it also just automatically reloads your sidearm. This change sounds fantastic. I really like that not only are you extending the effect, but it's also just reloading your sidearm. There's a lot of good exotic sidearms that could definitely take advantage of this. The Devil's Ruin, I think specifically, might be crazy with this. I can already see this thing just being insane with the new Mechaneer Tricksleeves. What I'm wondering though is if this is going to be able to just keep stacking and extend the effects. Like, if you already extend the effects once, can you get another kill and extend it again? Because if you could, then this thing is definitely going to be like just ridiculous on sidearms. I could definitely see you going on some crazy streaks with the extra damage. We'll have to wait and see, and like just how long you can actually extend that duration, and if you can just keep sending it after every kill. Next up, we have the Celestial Nighthawk, and this is one of the exotics that I've been wanting them to like do something to, because for a while it's just been kind of like not really great. It kind of like fell behind a bunch of some of the other supers, so I'm glad that it's getting some love. The Celestial Nighthawk now reads: Precision Final Blows, reduce the cooldown of your super, modifies Golden Gun to fire a single high damage shot, targets eliminated by the shot, give you super energy, and explode. This one has the potential to be really good, just depending on how much super energy you get back whenever you kill something with it. If it's just like a tiny sliver, then I don't think this is gonna do much. But if you could get like up to like half your super, then I could definitely see this being really useful. Especially if you like hit a champion, it dies, it kills some things around it, and you get like a huge chunk of super energy back. Then I could definitely see myself using that for something like a GM or something, where I could just pop my Goldie, take out a champion, and then have a Goldie ready for whenever I like go up against the next champion. Like I said, this buff being good is totally gonna depend on just how much super energy you get back. If it's little, it's not really gonna matter. You probably won't see people use the Celestial Nighthawk any more than you do now, which is very rarely. I can't even think of like the last time I saw someone with it. But if it does give you a big chunk of super energy back, then you could definitely see this being an exotic that pops up a lot more often. Will it be like a top tier exotic that people start using all over the place? Probably not, but you'll definitely see it a lot more often. Next up we have the Syntheseps, and this one's got a bit of a rework. Now they read: when you are surrounded, gain increased melee and super damage, as well as improved weapon handling and reload speed. So, as you can see, they completely took away the extra like melee range. I know Bungie stated before that they wanted to move away from anything that increases melee range, and it seems like now they're taking it away from the Syntheseps. The extra weapon handling and reload speed should be pretty good. You're basically giving every weapon a threat detector. So we'll have to see just how much handling and reload speed you actually get. But overall, doesn't seem like a bad change. It seems like they just kind of want to take away the melee range and just kind of give something in return for losing the extra melee range on the Syntheseps. But let's move on to the last one that we're taking a look at, and it's actually a Warlock one. The final one we're taking a look at is the Karnstein Armlets. They now read: melee and finisher final blows, instantly grant cure, and provide restoration for a short duration. It seems like they're updating it to match like the subclass wording, as well as adding the extra benefit for finishers. Finishers I think is just a much easier way to like finish something than just going in and trying to melee them. Cause our melees, unless you're building into a melee build, tend to do some pretty low damage, but you're using finishers all the time. So them allowing these gauntlets to work with the finishers definitely makes these a little more attractive for some in-game stuff, where you might not melee a lot of stuff, but you definitely finish some enemies. Well, I don't think it's a huge buff. It definitely makes them a little bit better. But will it be enough to actually see some play? Well, you guys that made Warlocks, let me know in the comments below if you would consider the Karnstein Armlets now. And those are the exotics that we know will be getting some changes next season that Bungie accidentally quote unquote leaked. But some of the Hunter ones look pretty good. The Titan one and Warlock one left a little something to be desired. So hopefully maybe they see like what the community thinks about these and maybe changes them a little more, gives them maybe a little more flavor. And I don't think these are going to be the only exotics that are going to be changed next season. We'll definitely probably see some more Titan exotics and some more Warlock exotics. So here's the hoping we get some good reworks or buffs. But anyways, thank you all for watching today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care everyone, have a good rest of your day. Peace.